It's interesting how Jeff Bezos just kind of stepped down. You know, the CEO running it. I mean, I would do the exact same thing. I mean, why bother if you made all that money? But the problem remains of the system that's in place, which allows for this unequal distribution of wealth. So today, my observation was again another it looks like a lot the lines, the production lines just get shut down through um, what looks to be like a sabotage or a sort of a reluctance on the part of a lot of people there, because I would say, you know, at least half, more than half, come there with the right positive mindset. They really want to work, and they work, and they probably make a little bit more than the $19 an hour. Um, that being said, there's a lot of opportunities there. There's a learning center, which basically you can pretty much learn to be in the warehouse and make a little bit more money. But I didn't pass the IT test that they gave me. I don't do probability too well, and algebra, but it seems as though that there's a great many people who I don't like to use this term so loosely. I don't want to say bottom of the barrel of the labor force, but a lot of folks who have been already pushed around, have already been through this American system, if you will, and just don't have the motivation. And I can't blame them today, because there was like a shutdown in the you know, this assembly line system inside the warehouse. The first time you could find an empty bathroom stall, because the people were able to sit down at their station and not be reprimanded for doing so. But the company here, this section at least, is it's not running very smoothly. There's a lot of people who are just kind of apathetic, and I can't blame a lot of people. $19 an hour is just not enough money to survive and make ends meet. So people kind of go there, sort of like just putting in their time. Um, Things would go a lot smoother and faster, I think, if you paid people $40 an hour and you gave them some kind of like video game feedback reward loop system, just like social media does, with bells and whistles and little prizes. They kind of say, oh yeah, if you work hard, it won't go unnoticed. You'll get some kind of bonus. I haven't seen that. I put my best foot forward and bust ass and try to do as many of the quota that they say, 500 units per hour. I think I've been doing that a lot more than that. But there's just no motivation, because you can get these long periods where things are sabotaged, or I'll be working there for a couple hours across from somebody who's just sitting down doing absolutely nothing. You can go in the break rooms, find people doing absolutely nothing, or just trying to get through the day. And if you did pay people the $40 an hour and you said, hey, this is, you do it like this, and then you take a break, that's $40 an hour, I think people would be a lot more enthusiastic. I mean, it is a physical job. You would have to it'd be sort of like designating that pay grade to the people a little bit more physically fit. But you're still inside a warehouse. The climate inside this place is just not conducive to a proper atmosphere. It's dry. There's constantly these huge fans blowing. It's irritating, and just people just kind of put up with it. And I think what happens is it manifests itself into fatigue for a lot of people, especially those who aren't getting up in the morning, running 5 miles and working out like I've been doing before I come here. I just feel like I have to do that in order to tolerate it. So I think if you don't do that, you're not going to have like the energy needed to be on your feet all day. So you have a lot of people, they just kind of get pooped out, and it's like, okay, oh well, that's $19 an hour. You know, it's totally unskilled and mindless. And a little, at a certain point, it's a little depressing because it's very much like just this institution. I mean, look at this place, and it's kind of fun actually. The job itself is just kind of fun. You just kind of take shit out of a box, and you know, like a little kid. With one of those, like, I guess erector sets, you know. I mean, there's like that little kind of bug out to it, but like yesterday when there was just like fire alarm pulled, today there was just this kind of disruption and just this whole massive amount of people that sort of just, you know, it's very hot, they just sit down. And you know, I see that as being problematic here. But if I just busted ass for 50 hours and my paychecks was $686, I mean, what the fuck? You know, that's just not right. It's not fair to do to people, but the large corporations are getting away with it. And they're saying, oh, that's industry standards. So, doing the best I can. I'm going to submit some ideas and, you know, really just make the best out of this situation. But it's a little sad. I'm trying to make friends and talk to people. People just don't seem very happy to be here. They don't seem very. There's some very friendly people, but it just doesn't. I don't know. A lot of people. You just look at them and you can tell that they're miserable. They're not happy, and it's a little weird, you know. You know, this is not. This is something I'm definitely overqualified for, and I did this because I think it's a good company, and there were some good opportunities here. But you know, I see from a management perspective, if I was in charge, I would do things much differently here. But again, it's just like this big machine, you know. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. What would they? Why do they care? You know, it's the people who are expendable and replaceable, and the product keeps coming in from China. And it's not that you have to sever or raise tariffs on China. You just have to change the way we do things as a species on our planet. I mean, there's so much crap coming in, just junk, just crap going in from one box to another box, and then it's just a whole bunch of waste. And I don't know. I mean, I thought Amazon was sort of like good for the environment. It was kind of saving the planet in a way. But what I'm seeing is something that's created more waste and more of an unequal distribution of wealth. And it's not Jeff's fault. Poor Jeffrey. Poor Jeff. I hope you do give your workers more money. You know, that's one thing to instill the work ethic and to dangle a carrot and offer education here, which I'm going to consult with tomorrow. In New Hampshire, they offer up to about $5,000. But education for what? For what skill? You know, beyond here, I will check that out tomorrow when they have like a career fair here. So it's interesting. I'm just trying to make the best of it and trying to make fun and light of it. But faced with my financial problems, I'm appalled at how, you know, that's just not keeping up with inflation. Minimum wage is $17 an hour. Minimum wage should be at least $25, $30, at least. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. This is my documentary of my experience being an Amazon warehouse worker.